Hello children, now we move on to the third module of the story, The Ashes That Made the Trees Bloom. In the first two modules, you saw how an old couple in Japan had a pet dog named Muko. They treated the dog as their own son. The dog helped this old couple to become rich. In the same village lived a very cruel neighbors, a cruel pair of old people. Both husband and wife, they were very cruel. They also wanted to become rich. So they dragged the dog, offered food, but this dog refused to eat and they killed the dog. The old man, when he heard that his pet dog had died, he went and performed all the rituals which generally somebody does when they lose their loved ones. The spirit of the dog appeared in this man's dream and he asked him to make a mortar and a mill from that pine tree. And again, when they wanted to make pastry and bean sauce using this mortar and this mill, it turned into gold. The cruel neighbor saw this. They took the mortar and the mill, but when they tried to make this pastry and this bean sauce, it turned into a foul mass of worms. They were so angry that they burnt their mortar and mill. Now let's see what happens. Today we'll read page number 60. Not long after that, the good old man dreamed again, and the spirit of the dog spoke to him, telling him how the wicked people had burnt the mill made from the pine tree. Take the ashes of the mill, sprinkle them on the withered trees, and they will bloom again, said the dog spirit. Now this good old man, he never knew that they had burnt the mill. But again he saw a dream, and the spirit of the dog told him that the wicked neighbors had burned the mill. Then the spirit asked this old man to go and collect the ashes, and if he sprinkles this ashes on withered trees, these trees would bloom again. The word withered means to become bare and dry. Withered trees means trees which hardly have any leaves and they don't flower. In winter season, you can find many trees are withered, children. Now, the next paragraph. The old man awoke and went at once to his wicked neighbor's house, where he found the miserable old pair sitting at the edge of their square fireplace in the middle of the floor, smoking and spinning. From time to time, they warmed their hands and feet with the blaze from some bits of the mill, while behind them lay a pile of the broken pieces. So this old man went to the neighbor's house, and he found them sitting near the fireplace and warming their hands and feet. They had used the bits of this burnt the mill, no? They had burned the mill, isn't it? So bits of the wood they had used in their fireplace. And behind them, where they were sitting, this old man saw a pile of the broken pieces of wood. Now, the next paragraph. The good old man humbly asked for the ashes, though the covetous couple turned up their noses at him and scolded him as if he were a thief. They let him fill his basket with the ashes. Now this old man went and asked for some ashes from that fireplace. The word covetous means very greedy. So the cruel neighbors were very covetous, very greedy children. They acted as if this man was a thief. They scolded him. They behaved as if this man was a thief. But at last, they let him fill the basket with the ashes. Now, the next paragraph. On coming home, the old man took his wife into the garden It being winter, their favorite cherry tree was bare. He sprinkled a pinch of ashes on it, and lo, it sprouted blossoms until it became a cloud of pink blooms which perfumed the air. The news of this filled the village, and everyone ran out to see the wonder. So when this old man collected the ashes of this pine tree in his basket, he came home and he took his wife to the garden. It was winter season, and I told you, winter season, all the trees are almost, you can say, withered. They look very bare. Bare trees means they hardly have any leaves or flowers. So what did this man do? He went to their favorite cherry tree and he just took a pinch of this ash and he sprinkled on the cherry tree. And what happened, children? That cherry tree bloomed. It sprouted blossoms. It was full of flowers. It was such a beautiful sight. And the whole area was full of, fragrant smell. Now, obviously, it's a beautiful wonder, isn't it? So the people who saw this tree, this beautiful tree blooming in winter, they went and told the others. And this news spread in the village, and everyone ran to see this beautiful sight. It was somewhat like a magic. Now, the next paragraph. The covetous couple also heard the story, and gathering up the remaining ashes of the mill, kept them to make the withered tree blossom. Now, this greedy couple also heard that this man took some ashes of this tree and sprinkled on the dry cherry tree. So, what did they do? They also collected the remaining ash and they kept it. They also thought they would sprinkle it on dry, withered trees and those trees would bloom again. Now, the next paragraph. The kind old man, hearing that his lord, the daimyo, was to pass along the high road near the village, set out to see him, taking his basket of ashes. As the train approached, he climbed up into an old withered cherry tree that stood by the wayside. Daimyo means rich landowners' children. The rich, very rich landowners of Japan are called as daimyo. So this old man heard that his landlord was passing through that road, and he wanted to see him. So he went to meet that old man and he took his basket of this ashes. And when he saw the train was approaching, the train on which this rich landlord was coming, this old man slowly climbed up an old, dry, withered cherry tree. And he waited for this rich landlord to pass by. Now, I come to the end of the third module, children.